team play basketball?
Yeah, I believe so, for the most part. We always have a game plan like every game, and really proud of the guys, really happy with the performance. I thought, except for a little small portion, I think the last 5 minutes of the third quarter, we really stuck to the game plan and carried it out, not to perfection. It's never going to be perfect. It's an imperfect game, but you see, we gave up 22 in the first quarter, 16 in the second, 33 in the third, too many, but then we finished the game off with a 15-point quarter. So really happy for the guys, the players. They did a great job, and hopefully we can build on this.
What are you happy most out of that game? Is it the defence or the offence? I mean, you only committed 3 turnovers up to three-quarter time.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50, right? I mean, I preach defense all the time, but there's another element to the game, and you got to score the ball to win the game. And I thought for the most part we set the tone early. If you look here, I think we had the lead for 37 and a half minutes against a team that has a lot of firepower who, they're tough to guard. They got good players. So I was happy with for the most part, both sides of the ball.
And you restricted them to 26% from 3, so that must have been pretty good for you.
Yeah, that, and what do we have? We had 21 assists and 8 turnovers. Anytime you can do that, and we shot a lot of threes, but we made a lot of threes. Yeah, we had the ball moving, and it's always good when guys are sharing the ball, and just that's fun. It's fun to watch.
Does Matt Hurt start to become into that MVP conversation? Yeah, he's just so consistent, isn't he?
Yeah, Matt's been great for us. I'm sure he's probably not that concerned about that. He's a baller. He just wants to help his teammates win the game. But he's been really consistent. He had a really another good performance tonight. But I don't know if he's. I have no idea who is in the MVP race. I know probably Bryce Cotton. Matty's playing well. But yeah.
What makes him such an efficient scorer?
I think because he can score on, they say, 3 levels, right? So he's got a nice outside shot. A lot of teams play drop coverage, so he's open from 3, but he can score around the basket. He can finish with both hands. He can drive closeouts. He's just a really good player, and that can score multiple ways. There's not just one way that he can score. If you stop his shot, he can drive past you. He can finish with contact. Yeah.
6 in a row now at home. The place is buzzing tonight. You hoping to turn this into a bit of a fortress?
Yeah, it's always good to play in front of a packed crowd. The fans were excellent tonight. It was really fun to play with the roof open. I think once the game starts, though, I mean, I wasn't playing, but I was coaching. I forgot, to be honest, the roof was open. But yeah, we need our fans, and hopefully they can continue to give us a big boost for our home games, because they're really important.
Are you pleased to see how Derrick's finding his feet now after injury and illness?
Yeah, no, obviously excellent performance, very efficient. 6 for 10 from 3. I think one of them he had to take, because I told him to take a quick one to get a 2 for 1. But no, it's good to see Derrick back out there and playing at the level that we know he's capable of playing at, for sure.
And are you feeling more and more comfortable now within the team?
No, obviously we had a lot of turnover. I think the one thing that I always make it very consistent, whether playing well or not individually, I'm always going to be confident. That's just who I am. And then obviously just a shout out to Matt Hurt. He's been playing well all year. So obviously he deserves to be whatever after season accolades that come should definitely be his being the grounds for him. But obviously just for me, man, it's just finding a groove with the guys, man. I feel like obviously I'm a guy that can do a lot of things. And just trying to make sure I mesh with the other 4 guys. I know Sobe can score. We got a lot of guys. We got a lot of firepower on offense. So it's just more so for me, understanding who I am and who I've been my whole career, and just more so just trying to find a groove. Each game is going to look different. And for me, I'm a winner. So it's like just trying to find my groove. Sometimes it's going to be me scoring 26. It's going to be times 15 and 10. It's going to vary. But for me, I call myself a chameleon. I just try to take what the game gives me for the most part.
Is that the beauty of this team? There's so many threats, whether it's the starters or the bench players. I mean, everyone's doing their bit now.
I think everybody over their careers have had chances, and obviously been players where they've showed up and showed out. So it just, for the most part, I think we have guys that are going to make shots, but for the most part, everybody has confidence in the next guy to make the shot. I think our team is really based around guys that are really offensively, capable.
Josh, you mentioned that 30-point third turn they had there. How do you sort of rate it back, and what was the message at three-quarter time to pull it back on the defensive end in the last quarter?
Well, just to get our focus back. I thought we lost a little bit of focus. I think for the most part, we put our starting lineup back out there, and they kind of pushed us over the top there. But again, just sticking to the game plan. Like I said, the guys for the most part did that, and we started that fourth quarter off and kind of didn't let them make a push to where they could have a chance to come back and win this game.
Do you feel that focus slips a little bit defensively when, you know, the guys are clicking so well on the offensive end and, you know?
Of course. I mean, yeah, that's human nature. I talk about that all the time. I mean, it's my job as the coach to get them to understand that we can't have that. But, yeah, you go up 23, 25, it's human nature to kind of drop the guard a little bit. But, you know, again, credit to these guys. They figured it out and made a good push there in the fourth quarter.
Derrick Walton, 16 points for you guys off turnover tonight. Can you talk us through you guys and yourself and the guys' ability to, you know, really push the floor and, you know, capitalize off those turnovers?
I guess it just speaks for itself. You told us the numbers. I think for us, just kind of understanding that, you know, playing fast is also a byproduct of getting stops. But at the same time, it's always the game is going to present itself. We have to make half-court adjustments. So, like I said, each game is going to look different. If the opportunity presents for us to run, then we will do so. But on the other hand of things, just being able to click on the offense and make the right reads each time is basically all you can control out there.
Had a fantastic year tonight, 15 points coming off the bench as well. For both of you, how important has his leadership been as a veteran in this league?
And me and Gus got a really good chemistry. We won a championship together. I'm always excited for him and almost ecstatic for him, just knowing his journey and everything he's been through to continue to play at this level. And obviously, he's a good person off the floor. So, you know, Angus has always been one of my favorite teammates. You can quote that. But he's always been consistent. He's a guy that's a hard-nosed guy, and then he fill in the gaps. He's not a guy that you always have to account for on the offense end. He just kind of finds his niche. And obviously, he's a team-first guy. So, he has championships for a reason. Like, his resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, and I'll co-sign with what D. Walt said. Basically, you know, as good of a teammate it is, he's a pleasure to coach. Like he just said, he's a team-first guy. Can do a lot of different things out there on the floor. He's been through a lot of trials and tribulations throughout his career, and it's really great to see him having an unbelievable season. So no, happy for Glover, and he's a huge part of this team for sure.
Now, also approaching the Christmas break, and obviously after the Christmas break, you've got Illawarra on the road, and obviously Sydney. How are you going to approach the next 8 days before that game against Illawarra?
We're going to take it one game at a time. We're going to meet on Monday and get a good little workout in, and then the guys getting the players are getting some much-deserved rest here. They can spend Christmas with their families and then kind of recharge the batteries because it's a marathon of a season, but it's a sprint here, and we got, I think, 11 games in 34 days, and we start off this new year, like you just said, on the road, 3 straight on the road, but we're going to take it one game at a time, and that's all you can do.
I know you touched on it a little bit, but can you give us a little bit more insight into coming back to NBL, coming back to Finnish, you come over, you hurt the calf, you get sick, you've had all these interruptions, now it looks like you've just started to build into the player and the form that you've shown that's won your championships and grand final MVPs. Give us an insight into how hard it was dealing through that period.
Obviously, just growing and maturing as a man outside of basketball is where a lot of my focus is, because I've been doing this probably since I was 6 years old. Been fortunate enough to have this been the thing that's been at the forefront of my career, forefront of everything for me for the most part. And just understanding and evolving as a player and as a person and as a man is just where I'm at in my careers and journey as a man. So trying not to let the basketball stuff determine me as much as it used to. And just kind of just speaking on that, obviously I love the game. It's done a lot of things for me and my family. I've been able to accomplish a lot of things that obviously I probably wouldn't even been able to dream of as a kid. And just going through this season, there's been a lot of ups and downs personally, just being honest, just based on having high expectations and obviously being a guy that's a super tough critic for myself. So it just feels good to kind of start to be who I've always been, you know. And the guys I've already played with, like Jordan and Gus, and obviously me and Matt are really tight, and Malik, just the guys that always support me in a lot of different ways, and a lot of turnover that's happened in the organization. Just a lot And just trying to be as steady as possible is what I've been focused on. But obviously, being a human of it's been kind of tough. But obviously, just trying to focus myself and just always be the team first guy that I've always been, and help guys be as successful as possible. Like I said, Matt is having a great year, and just trying to make sure give him as much knowledge as possible outside of it. But just to kind of bring it all back in full circle, just I'm learning a lot about myself in this journey, and I'm more so excited who I am as a man outside of basketball. But it always feels good to do what I've been doing my whole life.
Talk about, I guess, not putting that, everything into what's going on in basketball when it's, the struggles are there. But you have a night like tonight, you have show the signs last week, have a night like tonight, and now you want to lean into that and go, geez, that was a good night, let's keep it going, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think more so for the group, I think this group, of course, we got a lot of offensive firepower. And me being a guy that's always been like a closer in my career, it's just it's been not a new role, but just trying to make sure I keep my imprint on the game. Obviously, having a new coach and understanding what he wants and has been a learning curve, and not being able to be out on the floor and have that same camaraderie is different than talking through it and not be able to play through some of the mistakes. So, again, I mean, I always kind of just lean on what I've done. I've been able to, I'm always going to put the work in. And nights like this always make it seem like full circle when it starts to click again and start to get my rhythm and play basically be who I've always shown who I've been over the last 8 years.
Josh, Illawarra, top of the table. Intense game out here, just escape a 3-point win. What did you learn there that you need to apply when you go there in, I think it's 10 days' time?
Yeah. To be honest, we were focused on one game at a time. I mean, they're a very talented team. They're number one on the table for a reason. From top to bottom, they've got from the 5 to the 1. Obviously, they got a lot of guard firepower, but so do we. It'll be a tough matchup on the road. I'm sure they're going to want to get revenge or whatever, but it'll be a big game. Yeah, we got to be cracking on all cylinders on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. They put you in tough spots because, again, especially with Harvey and Kell and these Froling at the 5. I mean, it'll be a tough game, but I like our team, especially the way we're playing right now. If we do what we're supposed to do, we'll always have a chance to be in the game.
Wrapping up there, guys. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Joel.
Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.